Hello boys and girls, welcome along. Yeah, that's right, we can start a couple of minutes early. What's the harm? As you can see, it is just me here tonight. Me and Anna have done a lot of travelling in the last couple of days, which, as long-time viewers will know, breaks Anna a little bit. So she is recovering from being stuck in a car for a 6-hour round trip over the last 30 hours or so. But I am going to carry on building this quite enormous, that shouldn't be on there, that's my pirate. I'm going to continue building the quite enormous Pan Am Douglas the aeroplane. We don't have any more name than that on the front of the instructions. I started building this on Monday. We should get it finished tonight. I had already seen it when it first, in fact before it came out, when I was over in Billund, but didn't really clock how big it was. I saw it in person again yesterday in the Lego store in Manchester, and it's gonna have some wingspan on it. I think I'd only really clocked front to back size when I'd looked at it previously, but it's going to be wide. It's going to be a wide one. So I think we might have to look into like wall mounting it somewhere, maybe, because I don't think it's going to fit on any of our shelves. But all of that feels like a problem for future Kev, so we'll let him worry about that. We'll crack on with bag 9, which is where we got to the other night. And in the meantime, let me know down in the comments what you're going to be building along with me tonight, and we'll have a lovely old chat about all things Lego while I'm cracking away with this, because there's been plenty of Lego news since the last stream. Obviously we had the last week in Lego video came out yesterday. We had a look at the Star Wars stuff that's coming. We had a look at Spider-Man and One Piece and some other stuff that I can't remember off the top of my head. There's been leaks of the Shrek set. There's been leaks of the Ninjago sets that are coming up this summer. There's probably other stuff that I've either missed or already forgotten while I've been away. Did I mention everything is printed pieces in this set, which is very cool. I do like that. But yeah, let's have a lovely old chat. And also, how many of you are off to the Black Country Brick Show tomorrow? Because I'll be there. I've never been to the Black Country Brick Show before. I was supposed to go this time last year, but this, I mean, it would have been this night last year, this afternoon last year was when I threw my back out. And I had a busy weekend ahead of me where I was supposed to go to the Black Country Brick Show, Brick Show on the Saturday, and I was also at the opening of the Bricks Museum in Milton Keynes on the Friday night. I managed to drag myself to the Bricks Museum in extraordinary pain, and had to cry off going to the Black Country Brick Show the next day. So I've never actually been before. It's one of the big independent shows that we have in the UK, and I've not been to it. So I will be there tomorrow. Left it too late to get my tickets, so I won't be going in until a little bit later in the day, but it's not really the kind of show that you go into for buying anyway. I'm certainly not going for shopping. I have been given very strict instructions from Anna that I am to save my pennies for Florida now, where we have had permission from the Orlando Brick Company to come and film. So we're definitely going to be making a video at the Orlando Brick Company while we're there. I've been speaking to them. They've mentioned there's also a Lego convention in town while we're there as well. So we might be going to a Lego convention in the US. I'm waiting to hear back from Bricks and Minifigs. But yeah, we've got a lot going on. So that's where I am. How are you all doing? Run out of room and no Lego to build at the moment. Built the Brickheads turtles yesterday. I have got the grand piano set. It's around somewhere. Is it in here? Yes, it's up there on a shelf now. What are the chances of Duck Family Army after the plane? Close to 0, because yeah, I'll get the plane built and then we'll call it a day. Tomodachi Life came out yesterday, which, if you're not familiar with Tomodachi Life, it was one of my favourite games on the 3DS when it was out like 10 years ago or so. And they've just released the Switch version yesterday. And I haven't really had much of a chance to play it yet, because obviously we've been away. I need to get playing that. I need to get playing that. So that's where I'm going to be going. Can you send me £350 to buy the Lion Knight's castle, please? I'm afraid not. For 2 reasons. 1, I mean, I'm not sending you any money. 2, I don't even know if you'd get it for that price. the Lion Knight's castle is has shot up in price since retiring. So if you're still able to get it for basically its original RRP, I think original RRP was 345. So if you've managed to find someone selling it for 350, you've done jolly well. Evening, Kevin sourced the missing 2x16, so we continue with Brickcross Station. Nice. Just finished the Brick Bank, also nice. Very nice set that is. I've got confused right which way around this is supposed to be. Hang on. Have I done all of this the wrong way around? No. What I haven't done is tucked in under there. That's what we should have done. I've missed a step somewhere, somehow. But we have our Pan-American sign. And now we turn it over. Now it makes more sense. Okay, I'm aware of where I am with it again now. Do you think the new Spider-Man mini modular will end up with an epic rebrickable to fully modularize it like Oscorp? I mean, every one of those modular Spider-Man sets that they've done has ended up pretty quickly having a load of rebrickables on them. Seems to be a very popular thing for people to rebrickable up. So, yeah, I suspect so. I suspect there are mock designers out there waiting for the whole range to be released so they can do a big epic one that covers all of them. Although I think the first one, Miles Morales versus the Spot, retires this year, probably before they finish releasing them all. So it's going to be one of those things where we have to take a little bit of a gamble, buy them all as we go, gambling on the idea that there's almost certainly going to be something incredible at the end of it all, and we don't want to miss out on something incredible. Plus, the ones we've had along the way are very cool as well. I've got Miles Morales versus the Spot in the city as a little bodega, which is very cool. Have I been or planning to go to the Leeds store reopening? It doesn't reopen until Thursday, does it? I mean, if it's already reopened, then there's no point in me going, because I won't get the exclusive stuff now. My understanding was it reopens on Thursday, and I am planning on going to get the reopening set. But if I've somehow got the dates wrong and it's already open, then I won't bother, because I'm only going to get the gifts for purchase. So yeah, if anyone in the Leeds area can confirm one way or the other, I hope it's not already open. The date I saw was definitely the 23rd. So I really hope it's not snuck open early. That would be a disaster. Have I done a video of my rebrickable wish list before? I don't think I have. No. Maybe I have. I think I've done a video looking through cool stuff on rebrickable. I don't think it was necessarily in the format of a wish list, but I'm pretty sure I've gone through rebrickable saying, that's cool, I'd like to do that. Maybe one day we'll do this, and stuff along those lines. Might be a cool idea for a video at some point though. There you go. We've got the name of the company in on the side there. Why have I got all the minifigures attached to the plane? Let's get the minifigures off. Get them rascals out of the way. On the topic of videos, there is a Q&A up on the community page as well. You know me, boys and girls. Whenever I need to pre-record some videos, we always do a Q&A. I actually forgot this time. We had everything. We've already got everything pre-recorded for while we're away. And then someone mentioned, I assume you're doing, it was something on the lines of, I assume you're doing a Q&A while you're on holiday. I'm like, yeah, why am I not? So I'm going to record a Q&A, and I don't think it will hurt for us to have some extra videos stacked up for while we're away, just in case some of the ones we've got planned don't work out. Like I've already mentioned, I've still not heard back from Bricks and Minifigs. I worry they might be a little bit nervy of YouTubers in general at the moment after what's been going on with them on the internet. So they might be quite vigilant about people filming in their stores. So I'm 50-50. I've emailed them, and I'll try reaching out to them on Instagram this week I've emailed the store specifically, but I've not heard back yet. Fingers crossed. I mean, I'm obviously not going to go in there and do a really negative video about them. I want to go and have a look because I've seen so many videos over the year where the place looks cool. I want to go in there and have a look at all the cool stuff. But yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt to have a few backup videos just in case some of the stuff like that doesn't work out. Like, one of the things we've got planned to do while we're away is just shopping in all the American shops that we see on the internet, like Walmart, Costco, Target. If we go to all of them and A, are asked to not to film, or B, can't find any Lego, again, that's then a day when we probably need a backup plan video. The Leeds one opens on the 23rd. That's all right then. I was building the Emirates Stadium from bricks in a bag, but I ordered the parts on my own and Lego shorted me some pieces on my PAB order. Yikes. I don't know when it was opened, but remember you saying you'd potentially go. Unfortunately, I live in Derbyshire, so no Lego store that is close by. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. There's no Lego store within an hour of my house. My nearest Lego store is Blue Water, which I love the Lego Dragon's Head below the sign. Nice. Anyone getting the Bricklink Series 5 re-release stuff on Monday? I won't be, because I've already had my fill of Series 5. I've got everything I wanted. I even got some stuff I ended up not wanting. That was one of the I think it was one of the series where I ordered all of them initially, and I've since sold on Adventures in Transylvania because I just didn't have anywhere to put it. I'm not a monster. I sold it at the price I paid it for to someone from our Discord, so I wasn't a scalper, but yeah, I don't need to be buying anything more from that series because I've already got all the ones that I can realistically fit in my house, so I don't need to tempt myself with any more. Ta-da! Another beautiful sign, and get this the right way round and whack some more pieces on. As an ASD person, what do you find harder? Live stream, where you have to constantly talk, or video where you're on your own, you can pause and take a break? I'm ASD and find videos harder than live. I mean, you will have probably noticed we basically do two different types of video, don't we? The ones where I'm out and about reacting to stuff as it's happening. That's my natural habitat. That's what I've spent my most time doing over the years as a reformed daily vlogger, going to a shop, going to a convention, and just pointing the camera at stuff and then brain dumping the things that are in my brain and reacting to what I'm seeing. That's easy. That's super easy. I love doing that. That's just very natural. The talking head ones, I am a lot less comfortable with, and I'm sure the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that they're scripted and I read from a teleprompter with those ones. Because I would find it much harder to talk fluently, and that's the key when you're doing content, talking fluently without constantly umming and erring and pausing and hesitating. So yeah, I script the majority of my talking head videos, which we didn't always do, but since I've been doing that, the views have gone up massively. The feedback in general has become really positive. I think as I've got better using the teleprompter, it's less obvious I'm reading from a script. And I think having that script makes the quality of the videos that much better than when we used to just... I used to just waffle. As you'll no doubt see from me on like streams like this one when I'm on my own, I do have a tendency to just waffle. If the chat is quiet, then I'll start really waffling and repeating myself. I need those constant questions coming in to stop me becoming waffle man. There you go, we've got that on both sides now. So I definitely think I find live streams easier to do than videos, as long as the stream is busy. The hardest thing at all is a stream where there's nothing going on in the chat and you just like feel the need to fill the noise and you don't know how to fill the noise. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Today's flavour. What was that? I think I've put the wrong thing in there. I thought I had the iced tea. This is not iced tea. That is strawberry and kiwi hydration, which is not what I thought I'd reached for, which is why I was so confused. Yeah, that's strawberry and kiwi hydration tonight. Very nice it is too. No sing-songs on the teleprompter yet. Is this Lego set worth getting? I mean, I'm having a nice time. I'm having a jolly nice time. So it's always a difficult one to answer because it's a £200 set. So there's two questions there really. Is it a good set? Yes. Is it worth £200? I don't know yet. Ask me again at the end. And I think to answer, is it worth getting, you probably have to answer both parts of that. I certainly think if you get the opportunity, if someone was to say, hey, I want to buy you a gift, do you want this really cool Lego set? It's definitely worth it. It's a fun build and it's definitely something I'm glad I own and I'm enjoying building. Ask me at the end if it's worth £200 because I don't know. I don't know if it is. I don't know what a £200 plane or vehicle in general would have to be. I think for me, I struggle with, once you get above £200, I struggle justifying anything that's not a modular building. So it would be an incredible £150 set, that's for sure. Is it a good £200 set? We'll see. It was nice to meet you at the Coventry Brick Festival. I love holy energy every morning on my drive to work. I'm going to interpret that as you like a lovely holy. And I think it's just a missing word. I went to the Holy birthday party yesterday, by the way. There's an exciting new product, which I'm not sure I'm allowed to tell you about yet, so I won't tell you about it now. I checked, it's not on their website. But yeah, me and Anna were schmoozed. We were at a proper product launch, a proper creator party, which was fun. I've not really done loads of stuff like that over the years. Certainly not with brands. I've done plenty of Football Manager stuff, but it's a little bit different when it's the game that you make your videos on schmoozing you. This was a brand schmoozing us, and it was fun. We enjoyed being schmoozed. Would you be able to do a close-up video of using the brick separator? May just be me, but I really struggle to get a brick off when I've placed them on a build. I mean, I very rarely would use it to dig under the build. The only time a brick separator is really any use, I think, there's two times. One, when you need to poke for a Technic thing with the pointy Technic bit. And the other bit is when you've got two bricks or two plates that are stuck together and you take two brick separators, one each side, put one on the top, one on the bottom, and then kind of pull them apart like that. Actually getting this underneath stuff on the build, I don't think it really works. So I don't ever do that, or very rarely do that. Occasionally when I'm in the Lego City, you might see me with my pen knife. I am of the firm belief that a Swiss Army knife is a compulsory tool for Lego building, and it's usually the Swiss Army knife that comes out when I need to get a plate off of another plate. Obviously, do that at your own risk. Don't cut off your fingers, etc., etc. Do as I say, which is use a brick separator, not as I do, which is use a Swiss Army knife. All right, we're getting another bit of top in here. I've concluded that I'm allergic to coconut water through Holy. The energy in milkshakes are great, but the hydration comes with a handful of antihistamines. Interesting. Do they have coconut water in them? I wasn't aware of that. Probably should look at the ingredients at some point. I didn't think I liked coconut water, but I guess when it's got loads of flavourings in it, I probably don't. But yeah, there's something to be aware of. There you go. We've got the top on as well. I use a screwdriver. Yeah, Anna uses a screwdriver as well. I need to use a brick separator now to pull apart walls because I put a snot brick in the wrong place in a wall. I see you got a chunky Thor set. Yeah. This is my pile of stuff that's come recently. So we've got Bro Thor for the sit complex, and then this was a little haul to get Anna's gift of purchase. So I got a couple of vehicles for the city that I didn't already have. I always have plenty of city vehicles on my wish list for when I need to get to a gift with purchase. And then I got this to go in the city, in the Ninjago area. I know lots of people saying I should get the Temple Bounty or the Destiny's Bounty, but you know what? I wanted this because I think this looks cooler. And I have started watching One Piece, so I don't think there's any rule that says in my Lego city that I need to have a Ninjago boat near my Ninjago buildings. Ninjago buildings look cool, but I've still never seen Ninjago. And I'm probably never going to see Ninjago. Whereas I am now watching One Piece, and the upcoming One Piece sets look cool. And I want more of them, so it makes sense for me to start getting some One Piece stuff in, which will be splendid. I think that both this set and the Concorde set would have been improved if you could fit the captain in the cockpit. What's your opinion? I mean, they would be even big. I already started the stream by saying they're going to be too big. It depends how much you value scale. And I think on a set like this, which is for adult collectors and display, scale is quite important. So to have this minifig scale, it would be 3 times the size. And it's already bordering on being too big to display. The Concorde is even bigger. The main reason we don't already own the Concorde is because, similar to the Titanic, where do you put a set that's that massive? So, yeah, I think obviously you can suspend disbelief a little bit if you want, and just, I mean, you could put the captain in the front if you wanted to. It's going to be like having a massive giant set in there, because the seats on this plane are 1 stud wide, so you wouldn't fit a minifigure on the seats. The seats are like 1/3 the size of what they would need to be. So for this to be minifigure scale, like I say, it's going to be at least double, if not twice the size, which is too big and would also be too expensive. So I get why you come, and then I guess it just comes down to, do you value having a minifigure in there more or less than accuracy? Because to put a minifigure in there, it's not going to be the right scale. And I quite like the fact that with this one, you've got the little display thing to go in front of it for the minifigures. It's similar to what they did with like the Batman wall art, where it's all like micro scale and looks very, very cool. And then you have the little display stand for the minifigures that came with it, and you kind of display them with it, but not necessarily as part of it. And I think that's cool. And I think the minifigure stood on a little stand will look cool for this set as well. Was it Kevin or Editor Topher who wrote the text "new GWPs" on the news video? Ha! That's definitely Topher. Any text is Topher. It was also Topher who chose to... in my defence, I didn't have time because I was going to Manchester to get it changed. And I haven't told him this because there was no point. But the Dark Falcon being the example of original trilogy. Oh, Topher, you've created more riots than I do by calling them Trekkies. Even I know the Dark Falcon was not the set to display at that point. But it's rage bait. We'll claim it was deliberate rage bait and it's fine. Yeah, when we were doing the Star Wars bit and I was saying how you would expect it to be, I forget the exact lines I was using, but we talked about it being original trilogy stuff, and then you showed the Dark Falcon. Oh, Topher. Oh, Topher, Topher, Topher. Topher, 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 Topher. It's a Falcon, it counts. Oh my word. And people think I'm the rage bait troll. I don't mind it because it's trolling Trekkies. so that's fine. But I don't think it was deliberate trolling. I think it was accidental trolling. But luckily, I have such a reputation as a troll at this point that no one knows for sure. And that's a good thing. Can you explain what One Piece means? I mean, in the same way as I can explain what Star Wars means or what Ghostbusters means, I guess. It's the name of a TV show and a anime and a manga. It's just what it's called. It was a nod and a wink to Kevin's trolling. Yes, of course it was, Topher. You knew exactly what you were doing. We all believe you. What a good month to visit the UK. I'm not sure what you mean. I am confusion. It's always a good month to visit the UK. It's the greatest place on earth. Right, we have our little wheel in. And now we've got to work out how we wang it in. So how do we wang it in? You go on there. Ah! Right, you go on there. And then this bit comes out. Okay. And these little chaps go in there. And then we have wheels that fold in and out. That's such a clever little mechanism. I like. Weather-wise. Oh, are you asking what's a good month? I thought you were making a statement that it's a good month to come to the UK. You're asking what's a good month. It depends what kind of weather you like. I mean, if you want it to be hot and sunny, sometime between May and August, but except that there's no such thing as consistent hot and sunny in this country. So you always run the risk of a bit of rain. But yeah, they're generally like May to September are your nice months weather-wise, where you're less likely to have constant rain. There is no rain time. It's always raining here. Yeah, as Topher says, it's worth bearing in mind that if you come at the height of summer, when it on those days when it gets hot, which is certainly not every day, but when it gets hot, it's too hot. And there's even on days like that, there's still a good chance it will probably rain. And it also depends what you're planning on doing as well. Like, if you want to come and do tourist stuff, don't come in the school holidays because it's a nightmare. Like, you don't want to do London in August, for example, because it's just hideous. Everything about it's hideous. But yeah, I think the thing with visiting the UK in general, if you're trying to avoid rain, I wouldn't bother. Just bring a rain jacket and an umbrella. And accept you're probably going to get rained on sometimes. And don't let it spoil your day. That's how we live our lives. I worked in Manchester for a year and it rained every single day. Yeah. Oh yeah, the further north you go, the wetter it gets. I'm planning on seeing a Premier League game and go Lego shopping. Well, then you'll struggle to combine Premier League game with nice weather because they don't do football during the nice weather, really. So, yeah, I would just come whenever you fancy. Are you planning on getting any of the upcoming new CMF? Yeah, we'll probably get all of them like we usually do. We'll get a box. Not until we get back from our trip. But yeah, we'll probably get a full box. Vroom, 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 vroom. Oh yeah, and the other thing about Premier League games, they're expensive depending on who you want to see. I've been, over the last few years, I've been to I went to a match at Anfield. I went to a match at Spurs. I think the Liverpool one cost me nearly £400 for my ticket. Spurs cost me about £200 for my ticket. Obviously, they'll be cheaper next year because they'll be in the Championship. Have I been to any other Premier League games? I mean, I went to Chelsea Arsenal earlier in the year, but that was on Guinness. Thanks, Guinness. So I didn't pay for that one. But yeah, Premier League tickets are expensive. If you buy a full sealed box of CMFs, you're guaranteed one of each figure. You'll get 3 of each figure. All right, bag the 10th. Is it true you can't drink alcohol at the Premier League games? You can't drink alcohol within sight of the pitch. So they'll serve alcohol, but you won't be able to take it to your seat. You have to drink it in a dark tunnel full of loud, hairless people. Oh, that's so cool. We've now got little gear that puts the landing gear out for us. That's so clever. Lovely stuff. How do you buy a full box of CMFs? There's usually various websites that sell them. Costco often sell them. Bric-a-Brac is a website that sells them. I think the Minifig, are they called the Minifig store? The Minifigure store, they usually sell them. There's usually plenty of places. You can't buy them directly from Lego. I learned recently, even if you buy like a full set of minifigures from Lego, they won't give you the box, the big box that they come in. They're not allowed to give you them because someone asked for one and they were told no. So I thought that was interesting, so I wasn't aware of that. But yeah, there's plenty of options online for places where you can get them. Have you ever been to the Lego shop in Belper? I haven't been to the Lego shop in Belper. What's it called? Because that doesn't sound like an official Lego store. I know there's not an official Lego store in Belper, but I'm interested if there's a good independent store there. I'm always on the lookout for new independent stores to visit. And Belper's not a million miles away. Is the expansion on a limited timescale to complete at all because of the X-Mansion retiring this year? No, because I've already got the X-Mansion. I don't need a second set to do it. It's more a case of I'm not necessarily making the building any bigger. It's more putting it in some proper grounds, giving it a wall around it and a garden. And I might get fancy and put an extra floor in, but like I'm not making it massive, because for me, it's more important that it's in scale with the rest of the city than like a massive building. It's one of the reasons why I don't have an airport, for example. And probably one of the reasons why there's no modular hospital, because it's quite hard to do stuff like that and keep it in scale or keep it in scale whilst also not making it massive. It's like to have an in-scale X-Mansion, it realistically needs to be 8 times bigger than Tudor Corner. But I don't want it to take up 8 times the space of Tudor Corner. So I don't mind it being a little bit small scale-wise. But I do think it needs a garden and a wall. I've lived in and near Manchester for 53 years. It has never rained every day for a year. I mean, I don't think I've ever been to Manchester and it not rain. At least for a little bit. I don't know that I accept it probably doesn't rain all day every day, but I am yet to experience a day in Manchester with no rain. I refuse to believe such a thing exists in the north. It's called Ogle Studio. It's a cool small shop next to Morrison's. Interesting. I will look them up when we are back in a month or so. I don't have time to go and see them before we go now. But yeah, when we're back, I will look into them and go and check them out if they're happy for me to come and film in there. Get this bit on as well. Have you ever been to a Lego production structure? What, like a factory? Is that what you mean? I haven't. I'd be interested. I find things like that interesting in general. Anna keeps sending me links to tours of the Amazon warehouse. I'm like, I actually would quite like to go to the Amazon warehouse. So we might be doing a tour to the Amazon warehouse. So yeah, I'd very much be interested in doing something like that. I need to move to a bigger house. My partner has a full room of mosaic equipment and guitars, so I think I need a Lego room. I mean, that does sound reasonable. Sounds to me like your partner needs to choose between the guitars and the mosaic equipment to make room for the Lego. Like Anna made me choose between Pokemon cards and Lego. When space and money are limits, one has to make decisions. As annoying as decisions are. Goodness me, I hate making decisions. Alright, where do you go? You go on there. I have no idea what bit this is that we're doing now. Some kind of wibbly bit. Can you buy Minecraft minifigures on their own, not at a convention? I mean, on Amazon, I guess. Not Amazon, eBay. Probably on Amazon. You can get them like on magazines as well. There's the Minecraft magazine. Right. Oh, it's the propeller bit. So it goes on here. Because it's powered by spinning. What a terrifying way for a plane to be powered. Am I still playing Pokemon Go? I haven't played it for a little while. I've only ever really played it in the summer. So I might get back into it. I usually do. The problem with Pokemon Go is it's not really something that combines well with vlogging. So I miss out on doing it in the really interesting places, and that kind of puts me off playing it in general. Like when we're in Florida, I'm never really going to be in a position where I can wander around with my phone out because I'll have a camera out. But also I can't really risk running my phone battery down because I might need to film with it. So we'll go and do something like that and I won't really play Pokemon Go. And if I'm going somewhere like that and not playing Pokemon Go, it makes it much harder to get the motivation to keep playing it when you're like wandering around Leicester, for example. So yeah, the more we've started traveling again, the less I've played Pokemon Go because of that reason. How many days of videos have I made so far? I'm close to done now for both channels. So I've got another 5 Football Manager videos to do, and then a few Lego ones that will be coming out next week. And then, I mean, obviously, while we're away, I think there's only 5 pre-recorded videos for this channel. Everything else, I mean, it's planned what we're doing, but the majority of it is stuff that's going to be filmed as we're doing it. So there's not been as much pre-recording for this channel. So there'll be, yeah, I'm pretty much there, I think. But my voice is not enjoying it, that's for sure. Doing this much talking this close together. Any sets on 1st May pre-order? Well, we're not going to be in the country for the 1st of May, so we haven't been able to pre-order anything. Not that I probably would, after recent experiences with pre-orders. I thought Lego had fixed the pre-orders with Pokemon, but I didn't get my Luigi cart until like a week after it came out, so clearly they haven't fixed pre-orders. So I'm much better off just going to the shop anyway. So there's stuff I'm planning to get on the 1st. But it will just be from the Lego store in Disney Springs rather than Milton Keynes. We'll see how they compare. But we're certainly planning on getting the Toy Story stuff that's coming out. Have I done that the wrong way around? You handsome albatross. How have I done that the wrong way around? Is that all correct? Looks it. So is the book the wrong way around? No, I got myself backwards. There you go. I turned myself upside down like a silly goose. And yeah, so the Toy Story stuff we'll probably get while we're in America. And then the World Cup stuff, I probably was going to wait until after the World Cup anyway, when it's going to be super cheap. I quite like the 4 minifigure habitats. I don't need the big Messi and Ronaldo statues or the big Messi wall art, but I like the little minifigure habitats. So I'm going to get all 4 of them, but I think they'll be like £15 each by September. So I'm pretty comfortable waiting until then. Will I be picking up the Spider-Man sets when they release? Probably not. I wasn't really taken with any of them. Certainly not for release. I don't like buildable figures, so I'm not going to get the big Spider-Man model ever, probably. I haven't got the big Iron Man one. I just don't like that kind of Lego set. The Hulk one, I will probably get on a discount at some point to go with the other modular series stuff from Spider-Man, but I don't need to be paying full price for it because I don't need it straight away. Like the Oscorp ones came out whenever they came out, and one of them is still sat up there in the box and the other one needs to be disassembled, so the 2 of them can go together into a big super duper big one. I'm not one for buying Lego for investment either, but part of me thinks I might get a couple of each of the minifigures, one to build and one to just keep in the box, purely off the back of knowing how valuable the Zidane ones from 1998 are. Because football fans are football fans, and there's very little for them, and they'll always be coming to the hobby new. And I suspect in 10 or 15 years time, people will be gagging for a brand new in-box Messi minifigure. So I might get, and like I say, I'm expecting them to be like 15 quid. So for 15 quid each, I might get an extra one. Do you wish you were at Mania in Vegas? Absolutely not, no. I can't imagine ever actually wanting to go to WrestleMania. Having done a big wrestling show now, I went to the first All-In at Wembley. Or the first one at Wembley, not the first All-In. You know what I'm saying. But I went to that and just didn't really enjoy the experience. And I know the WWE fans will leap straight in. That's because it was AEW. No, that's because in a massive stadium, you can't really see what's going on in the ring. You can't really watch the wrestling. And call me crazy, but when I'm watching wrestling, I want to watch the wrestling. And yeah, I couldn't see what was going on most of the time. And I imagine WrestleMania is even worse for that kind of thing. So yeah, I bear in mind I don't even watch it on the telly. I can't sit through a 15-hour WrestleMania or however long it is these days at home. I can't imagine going and doing it in real life. If I'd seen the Shrek leak, I mean, I've seen it. I can tell you I've seen it. I just can't share the picture. I think it looks cool. I like the look of it. I imagine now there are pictures leaking, it'll be officially announced in the next few days, I imagine. And I think it's cool. I am a big Shrek guy. Ball bags. Go on, get in there. There we go. We're in. And I suspect very soon we're going to put some wings on this bad boy. I assume you're there for the atmosphere and the experience, not necessarily the wrestling. But I mean, no, you're all right. I don't particularly enjoy being surrounded by loads of people shouting. That's why I prefer watching football on the telly. Maybe I'm crazy. When I'm watching something, I want to see what's going on. I want to be able to see replays if something interesting happens. And I don't want to be surrounded by people who keep inexplicably shouting. So I don't think live sports in general are for me necessarily. What's happening with the Sagrada Familia rumour? Is it still happening? I mean, the rumour's still rumouring. It will be announced when it's announced. That's the problem with rumours. They get leaked so early sometimes. Because that's not due out until the 1st of July or 1st of June. Or so, I mean, it's April. I wouldn't expect it to be announced yet. But I think it's pretty clear it's happening. And now we just wait for official confirmation. What do I think the next classic car set will be? I know nothing about cars. I couldn't tell you what the last one was. Never mind what the next one will be. Cars is definitely a blind spot for me as a Lego creator. It is not my thing at all. I love your shirt. Where did you get it from? It is one of the many shirts from QWERTY that I have. So that's QWERTY, QWERTY.com. And if you use code BLOCKPARTY at checkout, you'll get a little bit of a discount as well, whilst supporting the channel. So yeah, QWERTY, always worth checking out. They do lovely, lovely t-shirts. Are you going to build the Toy Story sets in the Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studios? No. I'm going to build the Toy Story sets in my hotel room, probably. I'm not gonna waste too much park time on making Lego sets because I don't think Anna would allow it. We have to find that balance between work and pleasure, because we don't have traditional holidays, so we have to snatch our moments of holiday from these work trips that we do, because I'm effectively working 365 days a year. So I need to make sure when we do things like go to Florida for a couple of weeks, yeah, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be up until the early hours of the morning every night editing video probably. I'm going to be doing loads of content for multiple channels. It's going to be great. But I do need to snatch those moments of not doing all of that to to actually make it all worthwhile, because otherwise what's the point of working that hard if you don't enjoy the benefit of it a little bit as well. So yeah, we'll balance. We'll find the balance. We always find the balance. I'm pretty good at finding the balance. Brick Cross Station is such a cool, fun build. It is. It was my set of the year it came out. What was that, 2024? I named it set of the year. I thought it was great. I think this might be a wing that I'm doing here. A large wing. Put that the wrong way around there. Water goose. Was in the Lego store in Edinburgh today and didn't spend a penny. Helped when the better half was outside the store with my wallet. I mean, I have to question, what was the point of going in then if you didn't even have your wallet, if there wasn't even the option to spend? I mean, I like a mooch around the Lego store as much as the next guy, but it's always mooching with a purpose. Like even yesterday, I went to mooch specifically to get some pick-a-brick. I knew I wasn't buying sets, but I had to do it. I wouldn't have gone in just to look. I know, but that, I guess for me, I know what's in there. I go so often, I don't need to go and have a look. I am sometimes jealous of how Anna can treat a Lego store. Like she was with me yesterday in Manchester, and it was her first time in the Lego store, probably since we were in Edinburgh. So she gets to look around the Lego store and be like, "Oh, this is cool. Have you seen this?" I'm like, yes, I have seen that. Yes, I have seen all of them. I am very aware of everything that's in here. In fact, blindfold me, give me a set, and I'll probably be able to tell you the price of it and when it came out. But yeah, she gets to have the fun of wandering around and discovering sets in the store. Part of me does miss that a little bit. That is fun. It reminds me of how, like, games and toys and comics and things were when I was a kid, when you'd go to Toys R Us or wherever else and have a look because you didn't know what was going to be there. Because when we were kids, old man shouting at clouds going on currently, but when we were kids, release dates didn't exist. You didn't know what was coming until it arrived. And obviously for the companies involved, that's not as good because there's not that hype, there's not that excitement, that FOMO that drives so many sales. But from a customer perspective, it's so cool wandering into the shop and just discovering what's in there by seeing it on a shelf and being able to buy it straight away. That's awesome. What was the reason for the Manchester trip? We were at Holy's 5th birthday party. So yeah, we went up and got a nice Holy goodie bag. Tried some of the new product that's coming out. And ate tiny burgers. And drank Pokemon cocktails. I say cocktails, I mean mocktails. And just basically got a little bit schmoozed by Holy, which was fun. I like to be schmoozed. But it was a fun little trip. Release day when the Argos catalogue. Release day was when the Argos catalogue came out. Yeah, exactly. The Argos catalogue was the beginning of the end, I guess, for all of that. Because the Argos catalogue, certainly as I reached my teenage years, maybe it was always like this, but the Argos catalogue, certainly for games, would have the games that were going to be coming out, and it would say not available until whenever it might be. So you would then start to know when stuff was coming. So the Argos catalogue was the beginning of the end. I always knew what was coming when I was a kid. Used to get the N64 magazine every month. So did I, but I mean, maybe by the time the N64 was a thing, maybe I was a little bit more aware. I'm talking of like wandering into the shop when I was 8. like when I was a proper kid. By the time the N64 was a thing, I was practically an adult. But when I was late 80s, early 90s, I don't think release dates were a thing. I don't think we knew what was coming and when. I think it just arrived when it arrived. And it was awesome. Obviously, doesn't work in the land of the internet though. So we could never go back. But it was fun for those of us who experienced it. I've seen this thing doing the rounds on Instagram saying how people who were born between like 1992 and 1999 had the perfect balance of pre and post internet. And I was like, what year did these people get the internet? I was born in 1982. I think I have the perfect balance of pre and post internet. Like, I got my first mobile phone when I was 16. I got the internet when I was like 17, 18. So I managed to live my whole childhood no internet. But then as I was entering adulthood, the internet appeared. Whereas, I mean, my eldest daughter was born in 2002, so she's closer to that supposed golden age than I am. But the internet was always around for her. She never had any pre-internet. It was always a thing. So I struggled to believe someone who was born in like 1998 experienced life before the internet. Unless they grew up in a cave where there was no internet, inexplicably. I think it's just young people talking out of their backsides, not realising when we actually got these things. Born in 86 and almost perfect. Mobiles became common at about 13, which wasn't ideal, so you probably had it right. Yeah, exactly. I think for me it was bang on. Just as I started to become interested in girls, I was able to text girls. I didn't need a phone before then. There was no reason to have one. I was born in 1998 and didn't experience life without the internet. It was always there. Yeah, exactly. So I assume it's done exactly what it intended to do, and it's probably some subtle rage bait. Rage bait's getting sophisticated. It's not made me angry, but if I was the kind of person who commented on Instagram posts, I absolutely would have commented on that Instagram post with a actually, which, thinking about it now, as a content creator, how have I been so naive? That's obviously what it was intended to do. It was enough information to spark some memories and spark some thinking, but it was just inaccurate enough to cause everybody to be like, oh, well, hang on. So it gets loads of comments. So, yeah, that's exactly what it was supposed to do. And I'm a silly goose and should have recognised it for what it was. Like I say, rage bait's getting sophisticated now. All right, we're getting the bendy bit of the wings on. Born in 78, so I got to text girls in my early 20s. I was already married by my early 20s. I saw a similar Instagram post, but the years were 70 something to 86. Sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds closer. I think I'm like bang on. 1982, I think I am bang on. Like literally, we effectively switched from analog to digital as I turned 18, which also was when the millennium happened. So like it was so much. My transition from being child into adult was probably one of the most jarring ever. We moved from one millennium into the next, and the internet appeared and mobile phones appeared. And suddenly, almost overnight, everything was completely different. That's how you turn 18, boys and girls. None of this growing up with all the tech. Turn 18 like you mean it. That was the year. Just Googled it, and the internet and Google came into homes in 1998. Yeah, so we got the internet at home for the first time, I think, in 2000, as I was turning 18. And I'd had a mobile phone a year or two before then. I think I was like 16 when I got a mobile phone. What do you do with Holy Points? You can use them to cash in for like merch and stuff, I think. We grew up without the internet and mobile phones, so learnt to entertain ourselves. Exactly. Exactly. That's why we've got so many hobbies now. That's why millennials. It's one of the reasons millennials are the hobby generation. We're the ones doing the Lego and the colouring and the book talk and the this, that, and the other, the everything else that's all over the internet. We are the hobbies. Because we remember hobbies. They're not exciting new things like they are to the young'uns who grew up on iPads as their hobby. But also, we can't afford houses, so we may as well buy the toys we couldn't get when we were kids. Alright, where do you go, you knuckle? The internet hit as I hit puberty. Eyes open to a whole new world. My word. My word, that sounds dangerous. Right, and then you go on there. This feels very wibbly wobbly at the moment. I assume it's going to feel a bit more solid when it's fully together. This is the diagonal bit of the wing, I think. There we go. All right. So I guess the next bit's going to be the next wing. And then we've only got like 3 bags left. We're flying through, boys and girls. Born in 88 in a poor area, cell phones became common for you to get when you start driving for emergencies. I liked when texting became unlimited. Oh God, yeah. I mean, without wanting to go too down the rabbit hole of being old folk. Are we literally all old folk in here tonight? Are the young'uns off doing something else? Is there a Taylor Swift concert on or something? But yeah, I remember text being like 12p. These kids now using emojis and stuff because they think they're cool. We had to learn the abbreviations because you couldn't afford to send a long message. So we had to abbreviate. Right, where do you go? Where? Looks like Bowser lost his Game Boy to Luigi. He did. Yeah, he's Game Boyless. Do you like my new Lego sign, by the way? I got that on eBay. It's supposed to light up. I plugged it in and all the other lights in here went out. So I very quickly unplugged it and the other lights came back on. So I don't really know what's wrong with it, but figured best not plug that back in again anytime soon. That can be something for future Kev to figure out a month or 2 down the line. But it's quite cool. Someone's knocked that up in their shed, I imagine. and it's very snazzy. I was born in 03, but I generally preferred playing with my toys and Lego more than using technology. I respect I'm a rare case. I do like the new keyboards though, as having to tap one button multiple times to get the letter you want was frustrating. Oh, but I was such a pro at it. Again, we had a reason for predictive text. There's no excuse for the lazy kids now to have predictive text. You've got a full keyboard. We needed predictive text because that moment when you transitioned from having to press each button 3 times to, if you just get the right combination of buttons, it'll probably figure out the word you want. That was revolutionary. That was extraordinary. Born in 78, hubby born in 72, both feeling quite old now. I mean, I'm nearly that old. Nearly. I don't remember a lot of what you're saying, but I was born in 99 and fear that I'm an old un. I fear that I'm an old un and you lot are old uns. I mean, you're still in your 20s. That's not old, is it? There you go. Someone else said I'm 27 and I still count as being young. Exactly. Anyone under 45 still counts as being young as far as I'm concerned. Weirdly, that cut-off point has strangely aged with me as time has gone on. I mean, I don't think it's just purely judged in relation to me. I just think it's just the way the world has gone. As I've got older, the idea of what old is has got older too. Who knew? Was in year 9 when COVID happens. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Oh my word. I was already a degenerate YouTuber by then. I'd long since stopped having a real job by the time COVID happened. Right, so this wing goes on there. That does not feel very well supported. And then we turn it over. Yeeks. It does not want to go in. Is that supposed to come out? Ah, that's supposed to come out. Okay. This does not feel very sturdy. I assume it will start to feel sturdier. Ah, crumbs. I'm knocking pieces off again. Where did that piece come from? Under there. Get out of the way, wheels. Hold on. Go on. Oh, they're more in the way like that, though. This bit is definitely not supposed to be wobbling around loose the way it is. There we go. There you go. So we've got one wing on. That is going to be so wide. Look at that. That is. I might just put one on, and it will still fit on a shelf. As a degenerate YouTuber, was COVID good for business? It definitely was. Yeah. COVID took being a gaming YouTuber from something you could do to just about replace what you earned as a teacher. I mean, for my first couple of years as a full-time YouTuber, like my catchphrase was, look, I'm still earning less than I did as a teacher. And then COVID happened and it changed everything. I was watching said degenerate YouTuber during COVID and had been for a couple of years before that. It's only just occurred to me I've been looking at your face for nearly a decade. How gross. You are one of the luckiest people on the earth to be able to say that. Not the how gross bit, I'm choosing to ignore that. But nearly a decade of my face. I wish I could have experienced that. That would have been sensational. Can we see plane fly from the top of the stairs? Maybe. I was a key worker, so still bitter I didn't get a couple of years off work. I mean, I didn't get any time off work either. I worked harder than I ever had before during COVID. Obviously, I didn't work as hard as people who had a real job, but I was cranking out the videos. I was streaming every night. I was streaming on 2 different channels every night. I would do a 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock maybe stream on my vlog channel, where it was literally just checking in with everybody every day and just at least we can all have a chat at 6 o'clock every day. We'd do that for like half hour or so, and then I'd go live on Twitch for 3 or 4 hours playing Football Manager, on top of having 2 or 3 videos coming out every day as well. I was working my backside off during COVID. Again, obviously nothing like having a real job, but I didn't get the loads of time off either that everyone else had. A Lego Technic pin on the underside fixes the wing in place. Lego designers call this piece a bike valve. Which would you build first, the Shire or Concorde? Are you asking which I would build first or which you should build first? Because I probably wouldn't buy the Shire. I might buy the Concorde. So for me, the one I would be most likely to build first would be the Concorde, because it's the only one I'm ever likely to own. But if you're into Lord of the Rings, then I would always choose like a big display set over a vehicle. So if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, do the Shire. We have another little air hostess lady. I worked finance, IT, no claps for me. I worked for a business that just wasn't furloughed. Horrible when all my mates were playing Warzone all day and I had to work. Yikes. I mean, Anna worked all the way through as well. Anna was working in the co-op at that point. So she never got any time off for it either. She was, in fact, at the start of it, she was working in the co-op, and then she got her job at the prison during COVID. So she graduated uni during COVID, got her job at the prison. We moved house over to where we live now so that we could be near the prison she was working at. And yeah, her 6 months in prison were all during COVID as well. So she, and then after that, she quit to come and work with me full time because COVID in general, amongst other things, like the channels had grown as well, but we'd had a good year or two of the business. So she was able to give up work 6 months after, not give up work, come and work for us 6 months after graduating uni. So just like my degree, her degree is constantly being put to good use. It's a good job they're student loans and not student grants these days. The actual celebrity designer uniforms first appeared in 1958 with the launch of the B707. Hollywood fashion designer Don Loper designed the uniforms for Pan Am stewardesses at the launch of the jet age. Both male and female flight attendants could be promoted to the purser or lead position on the aircraft. From the 1960s onward, women increasingly filled the role. There you go. Over you go, you little rascal. And then you go on there. And we have a little wheel on that end as well now. Ta-da! Do you tell people that Anna did 6 months in prison during COVID? Yes, I do. She loves it. She likes to clarify. To be fair, she spent all of last night telling everyone we spoke to that we'd been in a police car chase that day. So she's just as bad as I am with using language to her advantage. We witnessed a police car chase on the M6 toll. we were right at the front behind the please do not pass police vehicle, and then the car that was being chased smashed past us down the hard shoulder, chased by several more police cars. And then because we were on a motorway that had effectively been closed, but we were like 2 cars behind the police car, we could clearly see what was going on. We saw the 4 police cars that were chasing it kind of box it in and force it off to the side, and then it got away, and then it got boxed in by the police cars again. So yeah, we close up witnessed a proper police car chase on the motorway, but Anna was describing it all night as we were in a police car chase today. Then I got fired and forced us to change from 4. After they forced us to change from 4 on, 4 off to 5 on, 2 off. I don't really know what that means. That we're drifting towards terminology I don't understand. Remember, it's been a long time since I've had a real job. And I've never worked I've not worked retail this century, if we're talking about retail stuff. So I definitely don't know any of the terminology. Did the police have to pay the toll? I imagine so. Afternoon from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sitting here watching your live stream while enjoying my vacation day off. This is my first time catching your live stream. Well, welcome along. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely time. What a way to spend a vacation day. Oh, I hope I'm worth the day off work. We're having fun. 4 days on, 4 days off shift pattern. Oh, okay. I've never done shift work, so yeah, I don't really understand any of that. It was something I struggled to get my head around when Anna was working at the prison, because by then I'd been a self-employed Herbert for a number of years, and before that I was a teacher, so like I knew when I was working years in advance. It was all set out. Like I could look at the school holiday term time stuff 2 years in advance. I'd know exactly when I was working. So the idea of I'm not sure if I'm working next weekend or not yet blew my mind. Lord Preklick 2, thank you very much for the super chat. I was just rewatching a video about Detective Office Modular because I've got it from Bricklink for 283, shipping included, and it's in great condition. So I put it into original bags. Nice, very cool. Very cool. It's always good when you get a good seller. That's how I got my brick bank reverse bagged like that, and it does make a difference. Definitely feels like you're building it as if it's a nice, shiny, fresh new set. All right, what have I got here? There we go. You go in there. Lovely stuff. This other wing seems to be built slightly differently to the first one, which I'm a bit confused about. I'm sure it will all make sense. It feels like they're trying to mix up the build techniques a little bit. Keep it interesting. Which, to be fair, is exactly what it's doing. Good work, Lego. Consider me interested. At the airport parking, we had to be open at all times. Overnight shift worked 4 days, then off for 4 days. It's the only way it works, so you have time to adjust to do some things in the day on your off days. Yeah, okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, when Anna was doing the prison shift work stuff, she had to do a week of nights every couple of months. So I think her shift pattern in general was 7 days on, 7 days off. And then every 6 weeks, the 7 days on would be overnight, so 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then she'd get 2 weeks off after that, I think. It was all very confusing. The whole thing breaks my tiny brain. I've been working on my Rio brick. Oh, my rebrickable, I guess you're saying. Maybe. of the clock tower of Big Ben, and I'm on bag 10, book A1. Nice. Or is Rio brick a brand of bricks I'm not familiar with? Maybe it is. And then you go under there. Okay. What was Anna's job in the prison? I mean, there's nothing stopping me saying. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember the name of it. I know she used to do things. She used to have to walk around the fence to make sure it was still there. And she used to have to check the post. If she was here, she could probably tell you, I say probably, she could definitely tell you exactly what her job involved and what it was called. I don't remember. She wasn't a prison officer, I don't think. There was another name for it, which I don't remember what it was. Like I say, she only did it for 6 months. It's not something she's ever likely to do again. If we ever have to go back and get real jobs again, she will not get that one. That's for sure. Have you or Anna built the Ewok? Not yet, but I am certainly planning to at some point. I do think it looks very cool. And as we all know, Ewoks are the only good thing about Star Wars. This is definite. Oh, the reason this is different is because it's not the other wing. This is going on the back. Here's me going, it's built differently to the other wing. Yeah, you're building a different part of the plane, Kev. You silly, silly goose. How is it taking you that long to figure out what's going on? The important thing is we got there in the end. So that goes on the back there. Hooray! My dad worked in corrections. He sometimes had to go into the prisons, but thankfully not often. I worked in retail. All of COVID was an awful time. Then people overbought on toilet roll. Yeah, we still overbuy toilet roll now. We've never recovered. We still buy our toilet roll in bulk from Costco. It permanently changed how we buy toilet roll because we never want to not be able to buy toilet roll again. I'm about to start the Notre Dame Paris set, my biggest one yet. Looking forward to it. Nice. Anna built that one on stream, I think. I think she built that on stream. She's definitely built it. It's downstairs. I think she did it on stream. Have I got the Project Hail Mary set? I have. It's a very fun set. Hopefully won't be the only Project Hail Mary set they do. After how well received the movie has been, I think I speak for everyone who's seen the movie when I say we would like a buildable Rocky, please. So fingers crossed. I know there's a rebrickable, but I'm holding off doing it because I have a dream that Lego will release one. Because he's great. Your live stream is twitching. Is it? I imagine that's a YouTube thing. We've not dropped a single frame, so I think it's a YouTube thing. Question, out of these three sets, which one is the most overpriced for the size? The X-Mansion, the Krusty Burger, or the Shire? I've not built the Shire, so can't fairly compare that. I don't think the X-Mansion was overpriced. I think the X-Mansion's fine. The Krusty Burger, I was disappointed with how small it was, so I'll say the Krusty Burger. If you ever run out, just use all the Lego manuals. I mean, if I'm going to drive all the way to the tip and dig through landfill, I may as well just nip to the shop and buy some toilet roll. I say landfill. I'd like to think they're getting recycled. They go in the recycling. Once again, the chat is being led by you lot. I want that on record. This is what happens when Anna's not here. Last time Anna wasn't here, we talked about football and I got in trouble. This time we spent half an hour talking about COVID. I hope YouTube aren't demonetizing everything that mentions COVID still, like they were at the time. Because that was the other weird thing about it from a content creator point of view. There's this massive thing happening to the world and we can't talk about it directly. Because as soon as you say the words, you get demonetized. That was odd. This thing that everyone is experiencing together. I mean, it's not often everyone in the world is experiencing the same thing at the same time, but we all were. But we couldn't talk about it. Bananas. No, we're not allowed to talk about football. We'll be talking about football on Monday night, that's for sure. But we can't talk about football today, just in case. I saw your city video yesterday. I love the city so far, and the Ninjago area looks good. Thank you very much. I see you made it home okay. I did make it home okay, Pabby. I'm a little bit disappointed that you didn't get in the back of the car when you were asked to. And now I have to drive all that way again next weekend. It's a little selfish when you could have just put a tent in our garden and slept here for a week. But oh no, Pabby wants to work. Pabby wants to stay at home. Pabby doesn't want to sleep in the garden for a week to save care of a little drive. Hideous. Utterly hideous. What bag am I on? 12, I think. La da 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 da. Football chat. Instead of Smart Play, I want Lego style Sabutio. That would be cool. They kind of did it in the 90s. It kind of sort of already exists. But it's very expensive to get hold of now. And I hoped with them having the World Cup license, it's still weird that of the two channels I have, the one where I'm talking about having the World Cup license is the Lego one. But now, as they have the World Cup license, I kind of hoped that's the direction they'd go in it, as opposed to 15 different buildable Messi statues. But I guess they had to make the ones that would appeal most to the American audience, which is clearly what the whole football wave is intended to do. It's very squarely aimed at America rather than Europe, which is a bit of a shame. You love travelling to Manchester. I mean, I don't actually, Pabby. Yeah, we've got the back on. I like being in Manchester. I do quite like it. But the drive there is a pain in the bananas. Bag 13. Which I think is the penultimate bag. Has there been, you know how they did they've got the wall display frames for like the Formula 1 cars and all that kind of stuff. Is there one of them for this set? Because I think I need to put this on the wall. It's going to be massive. I have nowhere to put it. Part of me is now glad that I chose not to build this on the plane after all. I say I chose to. Anna told me I wasn't allowed to build this on the plane. My original plan was build it on the plane on our way to America. So I would have had to have sat in the middle of me, Pab and Anna, so that I could use their tray tables as well. But it would have worked. But I was told apparently I'm not allowed to do that. Anna forbids me, which is why we're building it in advance of the trip. I still remember USA 94. That never happened though. There was no World Cup in 1994. For some reason it was cancelled that year. I don't remember why. Imagine the bag you're doing on the tray table. Well, I would have taken my new Block Party tray with me, which I have what I think is the final prototype over there, but I'm not going to show you it until it is complete. And basically, until there's a way for you to order it, I'm not going to show you it. But I am happy with, I got the final prototype through today, and I am happy with it, I think. I just need Anna's seal of approval. But I think we've got a tray that both me and Anna will use, which is no mean feat, because we want very different things from a tray. But I think after much toing and froing and tweaking designs, we've got something that allows me to do this and spread out nicely, but allows Anna to be a little bit more organised, and both of them fit within the confines of the tray. So it's going to be very cool. Am I excited for the trip? I am excited for the trip. It's going to be all kinds of splendid. Hey, guess what, Pabby? Guess what, Pabby? Guess what, Pabby? I've had one of the Lego shops I want to go to have agreed to let me film, and have also agreed that we can have early access to the store before they open, so that we can have free reign of the store. So that's going to be fun. We get to go, we get that double whammy combination of getting to go to a Lego shop and get up early to do it, which is a great combo. But they've also mentioned there's a Lego convention in town while we're there, which I imagine excites you as much as it excited Anna when I told her. I haven't been able to find any confirmation of it online, so I'm going to ask them if they've got a link, because I can't actually see that there is one. But apparently there is a Lego convention in Orlando while we're there. Magic hours at a Lego shop. Basically, yeah. But that means it won't interrupt with... I mean, ideally, letting people behind the curtain of our itinerary plans, ideally we do all of the Lego... We film all of the Lego store videos in one day. And just have a day of going shop to shop to shop to shop to shop. And obviously doing some non-Lego stuff mixed in there. And I just bank a load of videos that we release over the course of a week or so. But if, for whatever reason, we're not able to do that, because I've contacted all of them asking for permission, and they might not all grant permission on the same day. So worst case scenario, as Pabby has phrased it, we get extra magic hours in a Lego shop and can effectively go there first thing and then go and have a park day. So it won't be in the middle of a day. Won't cost us a full day of excitement and fun. How long are you going for? Well, if all the rumours I'm hearing of the world running out of jet fuel are true, we might be there forever. we should get there. I'm not like 100% certain we're going to get back, but we should get there. We should be good. And then we'll worry about getting home once we're there. That's future Kev's problem. It's going to be fine. This is why it's important not to watch the news. You'll have to let us know if Orlando Airport has World Cup displays. Is there any World Cup matches that are going to be in and around the Orlando area? I haven't even looked where the matches are. I know obviously we're not going to be there during the World Cup, which is why it's not that important to have looked. But yeah, that would be interesting to check out for sure. I've seen somewhere I'd like to go. Have you, Pabby? Is it somewhere you can share in a YouTube chat, or is it Is it too rude for the internet? Miami has the semi-final. Miami's quite far from Orlando though, isn't it? Doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. Oh, some lovely clicking noises. Bass Pro Shop. See, I worry that that's either going to be a fishing shop or a guitar shop. And that makes me think we need to add you as an additional driver for the car. Or it needs to be next to a Lego shop so I can keep myself amused while you're there looking at fishing rods. Oh my word. Pab, I've known you for getting on 15 years, I should think, at this point. I've never once heard you say the word fish. Are you telling me that you are a fisherman? Are you a fishmeister and I was not aware? How is that something I don't know about you? And what else is on the list of things I don't know about you? I feel like we're at risk of being arrested at the border if it becomes apparent we don't actually know each other when we try and enter the country. I think we might need a getting to know each other session in the car on the way down. Forget singing along to Disney songs. We're going to be interviewing each other and finding out these things that we should know about each other as we're travelling to another continent together. In Tallahassee, Bass Pro is between Walmart and Costco. Is Tallahassee near Orlando? Is that where we're going? I mean, if it's between Walmart and Costco, then yeah, I'm well up for that. They're definitely places that I want to go to. I mean, I'm not against having a look in a fishing shop. Just, I'm fascinated at the idea of it. It is just not a sentence I expected to come out of Pabby. This is where he says, oh yeah, I go fishing every weekend. Love it. Can't get enough of the fish. I don't go fishing, but I have relatives who do, and they have cool merch. Okay. Now, if you'd have led with cool merch, you know full well I'd have been in from the start. It's near where we are. Cool. You had me with cool merch, Pabby. You don't need to sell it anymore. You shouldn't have led with fish. Lead with cool merch, and I'm there. If there's one thing I like, it's cool merch. So I'm in. I am becoming a fisherman. Do. Next wing is taking shape. Plus most have decent restaurants in them. Again, I'm a fan of restaurants. Another thing that you could have led with. It's like that one shop people go to purely for the tote bag. I see. Okay. I've got a holy tote bag now. It's very exciting. I might take my holy tote bag with me. Because I'd hate for you all to forget about holy while I'm there. And as I assume you're all going to be watching the vlogs, then we might mention holy once or twice. Are you done after that set? Trying to decide if I stop for the evening. Probably, yeah. My back is aching a little bit after all the driving over the last 24 hours. And then sitting in this chair. I need to get back to Tomodachi Life because at the moment, digital Kev and digital Anna are not compatible with each other. Digital Kev declared his love for digital Anna, and she basically told him to do one. And now digital Anna is finally starting to show some interest in digital Kev, and digital Kev has been shunned too many times and is no longer interested in digital Anna. So who knows what's going on. All I know is digital Pab is ready to swoop for digital Anna. Definitely need to keep an eye on him. He is he's very much lurking in the background. He's just always there. He's just always about. Oh look, digital Pab's here again. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought he'd be skulking around? And then we've got digital sheepdog, who wanders around in a dressing gown holding a magnifying glass and is friends with my dad. So it's got him absolutely nailed. It couldn't be more accurate when it comes to sheepdog. But everything else that's going on isn't ideal. But yeah, it's absolutely nailed sheepdog. I'm having a lot of fun with it though. It is bananas. I've now added the cast of Friends because you can have 70 me's on there. I don't know 70 people. So I've added the cast of Friends. I've added the cast of Parks and Rec. I need more. I think I'm going to add the cast of The Office. I'm basically going to add the cast of all the sitcoms that I watch. So at the moment, in addition to Sheepdog being friends with my dad, he's also following Rachel from Friends around, just basically walking behind her, telling me how much he loves her, and she is not interested at all. He's effectively stalking Rachel from Friends whilst hanging out with my dad. It's very weird. But yeah, it's a fun game. Is there a digital Topher? There's not a digital Topher. I should add a digital Topher, shouldn't I? It shows where Topher ranks that I've added Ron Swanson before him. Yeah, maybe we'll add Topher later. He can be friends with Sheepdog. Surely Anna will run off with Ron Swanson. Maybe. Digital Kev seems to be getting a little bit too pally with Digital Monica. We might have to remove the digital friends, because I was explaining all this to Anna in the car on the way home today, and she made it very clear we would be having a row if Digital Kev decided to pair off with Digital Monica. And I'm like, you know I am not in control of this. If you're not familiar with Tomodachi Life, you basically create the characters and then just let them loose in the world, and you can't control what they do. You basically are just watching them, and kind of, you can interact in so much as, like, you can give them gifts, you can decorate their house, but you have no control over who has relationships with who and that kind of thing. So I can't force Digital Kev and Digital Anna to get together. And as I was explaining to Anna, it's very much Digital Anna who's been the problem, because she's not at all been interested in Digital Kev. She doesn't like the hamster costume that Digital Kev chooses to wear. But yeah, I'm having so much fun with it. But we might have to delete Digital Monica if she becomes a problem. Because that's the other thing that's within my power. I can delete characters. I'm tempted to delete Digital Anna and add a new one and let Digital Kev try again, because he completely ballsed up his first shot at Digital Anna. So maybe he needs to try again without the hamster costume. It shows how brilliantly I've nailed the personalities though, because there's Digital Kev just kind of bouncing off the walls, being a complete maniac. And then Digital Anna, who's just absolutely fed up with him. just like, she cannot stand his nonsense. And I mean, I've nailed our current personalities perfectly. What I need to do is get back into the mindset of when we first met and I tricked her into thinking I was a normal person. So I might need to change Digital Kev to fake his personality for a bit, like original Kev did. Does Digital Kev, Anna find Digital Kev as annoying as the real version? Yeah, that's the problem. She finds him really annoying. So maybe I've been a little bit too accurate with what I know now about our personalities. And I should have used our pretend personalities from when we first met. Does Digital Kev sing the Digital Woman song? Yes. Yes, he does. Amongst other things. He also won't shut up about Football Manager and Lego. Which, again, very accurate. Will you be building another set after this one tonight? I don't think so, no. We'll see what time it is, but yeah, the reason I was ranting about Tomodachi Life is because someone asked that a minute ago and the answer was no, I'm going to get back to Tomodachi Life. Because I've not played a huge... Although it sounds like I've played loads, I've played it for maybe 3 hours, and that's everything that's happened in just those 3 hours. So, yeah, need to get back in that world. Right, get this wing on. Yeeks. And then turn it over again to secure the wing. Oh. And then back over. It is so wide. My word. Look how wide that is. That must be... It must be 2.5 feet wide. That's so wide. It's very cool, but goodness me, it's wide. It's a good job Anna's not here, because we wouldn't all fit on the table. But there's a spot on the wall in front of me that it might go on if there's a way to wall mount it. So we might have to look into wall mounting it. Right, last bag, I think. 14. Thierry Henry's bag. I've got no space. Da, 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 da. La, da, da, da. Dooby dooby doo. Da 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 da. I said at the start of the stream, I'll ask again now because we've got a few more people in. Is anyone off to the Black Country Brick Show tomorrow? Because I'm going to be there. And I've never been before. And I'm excited. But more than that, I want him to explain the parking situation to me. As in, am I going to have to get there really early to get parked? Or can I just turn up whenever? Oh, a runny nose. It must be this chair. Oh. Right, where were we? Looking for legs is where we were. New uniforms designed by an American fashion house were introduced in 1980. Male flight attendants were called pursers. There you go. So this is a purser. Not to be confused with a person, I imagine. There he is. Remember, keep an eye out for Grand Emporium. It's not really that kind of event. It's not really a shopping event. It's more of a MOX event. And I've not got an early entry ticket. I'm not getting there until lunchtime. So, I mean, partly because I left getting my ticket too late, but partly because it means all the good deals will be gone. I really don't want to buy anything tomorrow. We are going away very soon. I need to save my pennies for our trip, or Anna will tell me off, and I don't wish to be told off. Right, this is not clipping on the way it's supposed to. That goes in there. Oh. Da, 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 da. Kevin is splendid. Doopy doopy doo. Am I going to Reading? No. It's too close to when we go away. I did say to Anna, we're kind of going to drive past Reading on the way down to the airport. And we are going to the airport a day early. So we could, in theory, go to the Reading Brick Show. And I can't repeat on a family YouTube channel what she said in response to that. So I'm not going to the Reading Brick Show. The protrusions below the cockpit area represent airspeed sensors. There you go. We like an airspeed sensor. Shame they didn't do Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks minifigures. Oh, I agree. But then at the same time, that would have probably added £100 to the cost of the set. So it's probably not a bad thing. Because I think the set is cool enough that it doesn't need a license. Question. Are you excited for the Toy Story 5 sets? I am excited for the Toy Story 5 sets. I think they're going to be the sets that I build from my hotel room while we're away. Certainly Lotso and the Alien one. I don't think I'm getting to build the Book Nook because Anna's claimed that. But oh, my nose really is running. But the other two, I am excitement. Yes. Right, I need to turn this around and get a proper look at it. Do I play Fortnite? No, I'm 43. I'm 43 with limited hand-eye coordination. I have played Fortnite, but not for 10 years, probably. Maybe even longer than that. Can you say hi to my dad? He loves watching your videos. Hello, Dad. How you doing? Do you want to be on my Tomodachi Life island? You can be friends with Pab. Keep him away from Digital Anna. Oh, I'm so sorry about the sniffing, boys and girls. I don't know what's come over me. I wasn't even like this at the start of the stream. There are no stickers in this set, no. We are sticker free, which is always jolly nice. We like to be stickerless. Speaking of Fortnite, I did say my best set of last year was the Mecha team leader from Fortnite. Well, there you go. La da da da. Do 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 do. Where's the last one of these? Where has it gone? There it is. Sick. I don't get sick. Although, annoyingly, when I do, it's usually as I get towards the end of a really busy work period. And I am working like a maniac at the moment. And my brain and body has this annoying thing of when we're about to go on holiday being like, ah, cool, you can be sick now. But I'm hoping it's not going to do it for this trip because I've got a lot of work to do on the trip. So it can wait until we're back. I will allocate my body 3 days of sickness in mid-May if it insists on having some. I imagine what it probably is because we were away, I didn't take my hay fever medication this morning. So I imagine it's just that's finally worn off and I'm a little bit polleny. Hello from the hot and swampy Virginia. Hello from the cold and swampy UK. I grew up in a swamp. I'm all about swamps. I grew up below sea level. Like, I'm the king of the swamp. Do, 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 do. What time is it where we are? Nearly 9 o'clock PM. I am going to have to blow my nose again though, I'm afraid. Which is probably better than sniffing. Eek, yuckers. Alright, and get those on. Boom. Still a lot of pieces in front of me. Alright, so we've got the Twiddly Wigglies, which I think is the technical name for them. Yeah, the set is definitely wider than even I realised. And I looked at it in person before buying it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a couple of little fellas. How many pieces is it? I think it's about 2,000 pieces. I don't actually know off the top of my head. It might be something that Paskev put in the description, depending on how organised he was when he wrote the description. When I say when he wrote, when he got ChatGPT to write the description, because I haven't written a description in about 4 years. That's what AI's for. Is it the length of the open instruction booklet? Oh, it's much wider than the open instruction booklet. Much wider. Got a Pokemon Red and Blue cartridge with inserts for the Game Boy from eBay. Okay, cool. That is cool. The plane looks amazing hanging from the ceiling. That's how I have mine. I'm not brave enough to hang something from the ceiling. I'll nail it into the wall. It'll be fine. That's much safer. What am I most excited for on the trip? Meeting Donald Duck. I don't think there's like one thing that stands out. It's all very new. I mean, I love going to Disney in Paris. We've been a number of times and it's my favourite place in the universe. So the idea of going somewhere that's like that but bigger and more is very exciting. But then also seeing we've never been to America before, so seeing all this American stuff that we see on TV and movies that we've never experienced firsthand. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a couple of weeks of discovery. We're discovering the new world. All right, we've got these massive Pan Am printed pieces again. And then some American flags to go on there. And same again on that side, which is very snazzy. I noticed in your recent city videos that it seems some of your roads are done without the sidewalk attached to the road plate. I think you're just using the sidewalk from the set. Is that right? Almost right. It's pavement, not sidewalk, because we're in the UK. But otherwise, absolutely nailed it. I'm just being a turd. Yes, that is correct though. All right, we've got the back piece on. So now what are we doing? Is this a stand to put it on? Oh, that's nice. The black pod is part of the automatic direction finder, a radio navigation instrument displaying the relative bearing from the aircraft to a suitable radio station. How jolly pleasant. Whatever you do, do not try the Mickey cheese when you go away. Absolutely awful. I'm fussy about cheese anyway. I don't eat random cheese. Right, so that goes in the top there. And then this goes there, which I think is their TV aerial. And we've got a little piece to go on there as well to hide some studs. And that, I think, is the completed plane. And then we've just got to build a stand to put it on. Just asking, do you prefer making your own meals plates or do you buy the ones that are pre-made? I don't think pre-made meals plates exist, do they? I've never seen a pre-made meals plate. I'd be interested. Certainly Lego don't make them. I'd be interested in seeing them. It's not that I necessarily prefer to make my own. It's more that that's the only way to do them using Lego pieces. And they are pretty much essential for a city like ours. Just out of interest, have you made a video on how you make a meals plate? Yes. Yes, I have. There's a couple of versions of said video. Yeah. They'll be around on the channel somewhere. If you just search Block Party meals plate, you'll find a couple of examples. Bom 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 bom. Go on, in you go. Oh. Mickey plastic cheese for the big pretzel is awesome. Fair enough. I mean, we'll see. I am pretty determined, and me and Anna have had this conversation. I'm pretty determined not to waste like thousands of dollars on food while we're there. I'd rather waste my money on Disney tap and merch and things. So I don't plan at this stage, despite being a fuller figured gentleman, I don't currently plan to be like buying loads and loads of snacks in the parks. There'll obviously be a little bit of that, but it's not something that is going to be a major feature of the trip, I don't think. Certainly not the intention going in. The only way I do meals plates is with the art panels. I would worry doing that you kind of not completely defeat the purpose, but defeat some of the purpose of doing a meals plate. Yes, it's going to give you the extra thickness, which will make your curbs higher than the road plates, and if that's all you're doing it for, then you win. But I don't think you're going to get the structural stability you get from actually building it, because there's no real way to like layer over it. It's going to be like 4 pieces. I don't think it's going to be as structurally sound, which is why I've always avoided doing that. But it depends on your reason for building it. If it is just to make the buildings as high as the roads, then fill your boots. For me, the most important thing of meals plates is making it so that I can move my buildings around both within the city and from location to location. Like the ones that I've had for a few years now have moved from our old house to this house to the storage unit, and we'll be moving again within a few months to our new office. That's a lot of moving, and if they weren't on proper Mills plates, they wouldn't be surviving that amount of moving. Are you going to go to Legoland, Florida? Yes. The only way I could get tickets is by buying my kids' tickets. What do you mean? Why wouldn't we be able to go? Are we talking about actual Legoland? I know Legoland Discovery Centres, you have to have kids with you. But I don't think that's a policy at Legoland itself, is it? That's really weird if it is, because it's not that way at any of the other Legolands. I'll look into it before we go. That does kind of kill two videos. So I should look into it sooner rather than later, because I'm going to have a little bit more work to do before we go. If we can't go to Legoland. That would be a shame. Oh, it's got a little printed piece. The Douglas DC-3 Airliner. Manufacturer, Douglas Aircraft Company. Manufacture date, 1935 to 1946 and 1950. National origin, United States. First flight, December 17th, 1935. Cruising speed, 207 miles per hour. Range, 2,125 miles. There you go. We've got our little printed piece explaining what's what. Could you please shout out Amy? She's in a grump and watching a stream. Amy, cheer up. Goodness me. It might never happen. That probably doesn't help. Oh, crumbs. Is that right? Okay, that does look quite cool on there. We've got a lot of leftover pieces, but we're not going to worry about that. What we're going to do is try and grab the stand for the minifigures as well. Google says adults can go without kids. Yeah, that. I was pretty sure that was going to be the case, because that's how it is at all Legolands. Lego, there would be much more online kerfuffle if adults couldn't go into Legoland on their own, considering Legoland is marketed as being for all ages. Yeah, it's just the Discovery Centres you can't, which is fair enough, because Discovery Centres are children's play centres, basically. We just came back on Easter. It was fun and is insanely more affordable versus Disney. What, Legoland? Good. Oh, someone else saying Legoland Florida doesn't allow you to go without kids, but lots of other people are saying it does. I'm pretty confident you can. I will double check on their website. But it would be weird for actual Legoland, not a Legoland Discovery Centre, actual Legoland, it would be pretty weird for them to not let you in without kids. There we go, boys and girls. That is a very, very cool set. Is it worth £200? Probably. It probably is. It's very, very cool. It's not something I could have a lot of. Like, we couldn't have a big collection of planes because it is going to take up so much space. I have no idea how or where we're going to display it. People are like, oh no, you have to go and get the Concorde. I mean, I can't even put this anywhere. I can't put the Concorde somewhere as well. But yeah, it's very cool. I like. Right, boys and girls, we are going to wrap things up there. I will be back with videos over the weekend, and obviously another stream on Monday. You can't buy a ticket to Legoland Florida without getting kids tickets. From the site, adults are absolutely welcome to visit Legoland Florida Resort without children. I mean, I'll try and buy a ticket and see what happens. I wonder if we're talking about two different places, potentially. Because like I say, Discovery Centres, you do have to have kids. Legoland, you don't have to have kids. That's how it is in the UK. That's how it is in Germany. It's how it is in Denmark. So I suspect it's the same in the US. But we'll look into it before we go. But for now, we'll see you on Monday. Toodle pip, boys and girls. Bye bye.